Hi, welcome back to my tiny Tuscan kitchen. Today's recipe is a really fun, quick recipe. We're kind of in between seasons right now. We're just, the first heat has really come. And my basil plant really isn't big enough now to make a lot of pesto. So I'm still using some of my fall flavors. And we're gonna make today a recipe from a friend of mine. And it's gonna be sage pesto. And this is really delicious. So sage, I find, is really something we use a lot in Tuscany. So what you want to do is gather your sage leaves. We don't want any of the stems. I'm just going to make a small recipe today, but you can make this and keep it in your refrigerator. But you want like a cup of sage leaves, and we have skinny leaves and big leaves. We tend to also fry sage leaves, which are delicious. Little fried sage in omelets, chicken saltimbocca, veal saltimbocca, of course, has sage. We do a beef roll stuffed with artichokes and sage. It's just delicious. We use a lot of sage. And like basil, different sages will have different flavors and be strong or not strong. So mine's pretty aromatic. First time I ever made pesto here using Italian pesto, an American recipe, it was too strong for me. So I'm just going to use one garlic clove. I don't like a lot of garlic. But the secret to this, now usually regular pesto, of course, is basil with garlic and, and pine nuts. Well, pine nuts tend to be very expensive. So in Tuscany, this is made, again, sage. It's made with the sage, a garlic clove, and we use walnuts, which is something we have a lot of. So I'm just going to drop some walnuts in here. And then I think the bright secret flavor of this is we're going to add lemon zest, okay? And I'm just going to do this in my little baby food processor. Let's do like 3 here. I'm using a small amount. And I'm going to add extra virgin olive oil. Okay, that's going to help it all blend up. Now in Tuscany, we also have just a walnut sauce, which is delicious that we make and use for pasta or spread on bread. Here we go. So we have a nice mince here. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more oil because I want it to be wet. And I add the cheese at the end, okay? So this is really gonna infuse the oil with all these beautiful aromatic flavors. Okay, I'm gonna wipe down the sides here and make sure that all my sage gets pureed. Don't be afraid to be generous with good oil. Okay. Now it's up to you if you want to add salt or not. I tend to find Parmesan cheese isn't as salty as when people use Pecorino Romano. We don't use Pecorino Romano. That's more from Rome. It says it in the name, right? Up here we tend to use Parmesan cheese. So now I'm going to stir in my Parmesan. So before I salt it, I'll taste it. But I'm sure this is going to be absolutely delicious. Just taste. I think we should use a little salt, which will help bring out the garlic and the lemon in here. Okay. Oh, I see a sage leaf that's not ground up yet. Okay. The salt just pumped up those flavors. It's delicious now. Okay, let's go. All my leaves, all my lemon zest is all pureed now. I'll put it in a little dish and show it to you. So here is my beautiful sage and lemon pesto with walnuts. So it makes a beautiful thick sauce. Now I just served this like with something like a cracker. I just did a little piece right now so I could taste it. So have your bowl with the little spoons. People can just do a little dab. That salt really brought out the lemon zest. It's really delicious. But if you want to do this with pasta, what you can do is you can put some of this sauce into a pasta bowl or put it into a skillet and thin it with a little of the boiling water from where you cooked your spaghetti or your pasta in. Just a little bit. And then pick your pasta up out of the water, put it in the bowl or the pan with your sauce and stir it together. And it will actually cling to the pasta better that way. It doesn't need to be cooked. It just needs to like sit for a couple of minutes with the pasta to blend and to attach to it. And the starchy pasta water helps that happen. So that's delicious with pasta. It's delicious on crackers or bread. I think it's really good like on a swordfish steak, some grilled prawns. I like to keep a jar of it in the summer where we like to have kind of like what I call picnic dinners. We'll have olives, cheeses, some of these toppings, crackers, breads, mozzarella cheese, just something fresh and light and not have to be cooking every night for dinner. Just having some things already prepared and easy to go. Enjoy my sage and walnut pesto with lemon. Buon appetito.